Hi friends, this is for you if you've ever felt you had to earn love or earn rest or worthiness by being helpful. This is for the women who have always carried everything, and it is going to change big time for you when you learn how to undo the spell of being useful. I've lost track of the number of clients who have come to me and they are lost and confused and just really over functioning to survive. And I did it too. I'm human. This is not about perfection, but rather undoing like what was never ours to carry. So as women, feeling useful in our lives, looking after everybody, doing all the things, it's kind of been this stigma, right? There's this whole like theme around being useful as women that's rooted in patriarchy, religion, capitalism. Women cook, clean, men work, women look after the home, the children, and the man comes home from work and he sits in his chair with his beer at the end of the day and his day is done. And yet as women, we are doing everything. And a lot of it comes down to how worthy we feel. And by being useful, we feel as though then we're worthy of love. Instead of just knowing in our heart of hearts that we are worthy just as we are, we don't have to do more, we don't have to look after anyone else more. So there's always this more factor that comes in. Perfectionism, people pleasing, even just that mother, that healer archetype, right? That as women, that's our role. Somewhere along the lines though, it blurs, okay? And we are constantly trying to outprove our worth. And by being useful, we feel worthy and seen. How many of you saw your moms in the day sitting and relaxing? Okay? Or sitting and relaxing before the laundry was put away, before the dishes got done, before she had made supper. Probably very slim. Very slim. And so there's this belief that comes up that I must prove I'm valuable by being needed. So how this spell shows up, and the biggest one is by saying yes when you actually mean no, okay? So picture this. Your neighbor calls you. She's on her own. She can't move around a lot. You do a lot for her already, and you've just worked a 12-hour shift. She calls you and she's out of bananas. She wants you to go to the grocery store before you get home from work. You've just been out of town. You haven't seen your kids for 2 days just because of your shift work. And you wanted to go to the dry cleaners after work to pick up your dry cleaning before they closed. But now you're going to get bananas at the grocery store for your neighbor. There is a fine line again between that obligatory, I have to do this, and saying yes to yourself instead of someone else. This can also show up by like overgiving in your business. And I feel like I'm guilty of this a little bit. Having freebies, doing all the things on social media, like you're overgiving in order to be seen, to be loved, to be noticed. Instead of just knowing that you are worthy of amazing things. You're worthy of receiving clients. You are worthy of receiving the likes without overgiving. Another way this shows up in your world might be by feeling unsafe when you rest. So you're sitting on the couch and you're like, I'm gonna read my book. This is for me. I wanna relax. But the second you sit down, all of these alarms start going off in your head. Oh, I should have did the dishes. Oh, I think there's laundry that needs to get thrown into the dryer. Oh, the cat, I need to feed the cat. Wait a second, did I leave the water on outside? I need to go shut that off. So you're not allowing yourself to feel safe when you rest. And you're kind of hating the fact that you have your own needs. Looking after yourself, taking a bath on your own with candles and relaxing music is looking after yourself, and knowing that you don't have to be doing all of those other things. You're deserving of that time. You are deserving of that time just because you exist, not because you did the 20 other things on your list, which is judging your worth by productivity. So even saying, looking at your to-do list and you're like, I have 20 things on this list. Once I get them all done, then I'm going to take my bath. Then I get to have a bath because I did all the things. Or if I just did this one more thing, then maybe my partner will finally love me the way that I deserve. Okay? Do you see how it's playing out in your life so easily? Now I want to take you into being an empath, because I think, again, there's lots of blurry lines here. The difference between usefulness and being an empath is that an empath means that you are feeling deeply. You're sensing the energy around you. You're intuitively picking up on emotions, okay? You're absorbing what others are carrying before they speak it. So when you come into a room of people, you can just tell when things are off. Now, being an empath can also be a coping mechanism to staying safe, but it's also a gift. It's a gift of sensitivity and soul attunement if you use it wisely. So that's what being an empath is. Being useful is a learned behavior, so it can be passed down generational. It's a survival strategy. It says, if I'm helpful, maybe I'll be safe. If I fix it, maybe I'll be loved more. And if I give enough, maybe I'll be enough. So empathy is just something you are, whereas usefulness is performative. Okay? It tries to prove something. It tries to prove that you're loved, prove that you're being seen, prove that you're deserving of something in life. So when you're stuck in that spell of usefulness, you're overfunctioning, you're self-abandoning, and you're performing for worth. There's always an underlining performance there. So how do we go about bringing awareness to this spell? Okay, this spell of being usefulness, because this is where we're going to go from here. Once you kind of pinpoint in your life where this is showing up for you, and I'm going to give you an example in a minute of how this is showing up for me and what I'm going to do to reframe it to move past this. Okay, so the first part is make a list of all the places in your life where you see this playing out. Think about the things that you do in your life where you feel useful. Okay, so it could be in work, it could be in your family, it could be with friends. Just bring awareness to all of those situations and think about what the underlying cause or reason is of why you do this. And once you come up with that, just pick one for now. We don't want to go overboard. We're going baby steps today. So just pick one area. And then we're going to claim that we're releasing this, and then we're going to reframe it. Okay? So for example, I quite often find myself doing things for my kids that I know that they can do for themselves, especially now that they are older. I've got 2 teens and a preteen. So I find that I will try to find a way to communicate with them so that they know how much I love them without getting the eye rolls or that whatever, mom. So I'll do it in a way of it's like, oh, are you hungry? I can make you something to eat. Even if they say no, I'm like, are you sure? I can make you a smoothie. Oh, are you sure? I can make you this. Or maybe they were doing their laundry and I noticed that it's sitting in the washing machine. I'll put it in the dryer for them, even though they're perfectly capable of putting their stuff in the dryer. And I'll make a point of saying, oh, I noticed your stuff was in the washing machine. I put it in the dryer for you. Now, some of you might be thinking, well, that's just being a mom, right? Like that's just, it's kind of, it comes with the territory of looking after your kids and looking after your family, but it's the underlying reason there. Okay, so here's what's happening energetically. And it took me a while to kind of notice this and pinpoint it. So go easy on yourself. So this is what's happening energetically. I'm not just making them food and folding their laundry. I'm unconsciously verbalizing that this is how I know how to love you. Okay, acts of service, kind of big on my part. And this is how I hope you'll love me back. So those are not wrong. Nothing that you come up with today or that you see in yourself is wrong. It's human. Completely human. Especially like as a mother, okay? Where usefulness is praised, expected, and it's just rarely reciprocated. That's just how it is. But it doesn't have to be, okay? And this is what kind of comes up the more awareness you're bringing to these situations in your life. So, as I'm doing these things for my kids, this is what I'm subconsciously, this is what I'm feeling. If I don't do these things, will they still feel my love? So I'm doing these things to show them that I love them. If I don't do all of these things, will they still see me as a good mother? Will I actually believe that I am a good mother? And in those phrases, in those beliefs, that is where the spell shows up. Because underneath that surface, there's a deeper need for me to be loved and seen for who I am, not just by what I do. I don't want to have to do those things just to receive love or just to be seen. And so that's what I want to release. So what I'm releasing is I want to be loved and seen for who I am, not just what I do. So once you have that in your head, maybe write it out on a piece of paper, rough draft it up so you know exactly what you're going to say. But we are basically just going to speak it out to the universe to say, I release this. And then we're going to reframe it. So we're going to release, and then we're going to reframe, program it back in. So I release the need to prove my love through acts of service in the hopes that it will earn me connection, validation, or the feeling of being a good mother. And we are going to release that through all time and space, through all dimensions, realms, universes, lifetimes, and timelines. You never know where that came from. And then we're going to reframe it. Hands on your chest. I choose to believe that my presence, my heart, and my truth are enough. That is what I'm going to believe. So every time I feel myself trying to prove my worth of being a good mother and being seen, I'm going to say that affirmation. And it's going to get easier. Every time you say it, it's going to get easier and easier. Now, I'm going to take you through a little activation. Just a little cherry on the top. So if you just want to get comfortable, we're just going to be very present with ourselves. Closing your eyes. You can place your hands on your heart space. You can even place your hands on your womb space, because as women, we carry a lot of stuff in our wombs. Generational. So let's do a hand on your heart and a hand on your womb space. Closing your eyes and taking a nice deep breath in. And I want you to repeat after me. I don't have to be useful to be worthy. I am enough, even in my stillness. Now I want you to take a breath in. The kind of breath in that says, I am allowed to be here. I don't have to do anything first. I don't have to earn this. I deserve this. And now say softly in your mind or out loud, I call back every piece of myself that I gave away in the name of being useful. I release the belief that I must fix, heal, carry, or perform in order to deserve love. I am not a tool. I am not a machine. I am not a product of anyone's expectations. I am the temple. I am sacred in stillness. I am holy when I rest. I am worthy when I do nothing at all. Now take a nice deep breath in here. Breathing in through your nose. And as you exhale, let it drop deeper into your center, into your bones, into the quiet parts of you that are tired of trying. And say to yourself, I no longer sacrifice myself to be safe. I no longer shrink to be chosen. I no longer abandon my body to feel valuable. I choose a new way. I choose softness. I choose sovereignty. I choose to be enough, just as I am. Let the spell dissolve. Let the shame unravel. And in its place, feel this. I am already whole. I am already home. I am already free. When you're ready, you can open your eyes. But know this, the world does not need your usefulness. It needs your truth, and it needs your presence. Your power, just as you are. And that is the truth. If you want to give yourself a few minutes, maybe journal about anything that came up. There's a couple of journaling prompts down in the description, and even share in the comments what came up for you, as it might help someone else identify where they are under the spell of being useful. So if you're ready to dive in and start uncovering more about what's holding you back from your truth, you can book a one-on-one session with me. The link's in the box. You can also check out Unbecoming. So that is a self-led journey back to your sovereign self. You'll learn how to tap into your intuition, uncover beliefs and patterns that no longer serve you, and reclaim your power in as little as 5 weeks. So all of those links are down in the description box. And until next time, have a beautiful day.